So the long-awaited X and Juice WRLD collaboration project has officially failed, and I'm pretty happy about this not working out the way the labels wanted it to. Juice WRLD and X are two of the most popular deceased artists in the past 25 years, with them both captivating a young audience that only few artists can dream of, and having a cultural impact and talent that only comes once in a generation, let alone us fans having two artists of this caliber at the same time. But yet we did, and when they both passed away, one dying in 2018 and the following dying in 2019, there was this unfulfilled void of this next superstar that was supposed to take over for this newer generation, but sadly never came to be, with them both dying at the height of their careers, leaving many fans without hope, an answer, an artist that they could relate to, a despair of grief from these music listeners that only got to see a glimpse of this untapped potential from these young artists, and most importantly, or unfortunately, a life that was cut too soon, causing irreversible catastrophic damage to their loved ones. And it's obvious that it's something that nobody ever wishes for or expects. Well, unless you're a record label, because this is something that they don't necessarily wish happens, but aren't mad at it.
Juice WRLD is one of the most, actually he's the most lucrative posthumous artist. $50 million, that's what X's music, and God rest his soul. He's been dead since 2018. His music throughout made about $50 million.
When Juice WRLD and X died, their music sales skyrocketed, their streams skyrocketed, their cachet skyrocketed. Literally everything that they touched or were featured on were golden to a record label. Not to say that their labels were happy when they died, but their record labels did make a lot more money off of them than when they were alive. The day after X died, his sales notoriously skyrocketed 700,000%, bumping his viral hit song Sad to the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100, with him being the first artist to do so in over 20 years since the late B.I.G., while having both of his albums in the top 10 in the Billboard 200, and being one of the top selling artists of that year. And X would eventually have the most streamed hip hop album ever, ? Surpassing Drake. And if I had to guess right now in 2025, X's music is still generating millions and millions of dollars, even 7 years after his death, making him one of the most profitable artists out there to a record label. And if you want to talk about Juice WRLD's, it gets even crazier, with him too having a 2,700 sales spike after his death, nearly earning 40 million streams the day he died, having the biggest posthumous album of the 21st century, getting a diamond certified record, and by May 2023 selling over 100 million units across his whole discography. Now if that ain't music to a record label's ears, I don't know what is. And with these two money-making machines being that profitable and making that much money for these corporations, the best idea for these deceased to even make more money for these labels is for them to collab, posthumously of course. And hey, it did work out in the past. Look at X and Lil Peep's collab, Falling Down. Nearly was a top 10 hit, going triple platinum, and was nearly one of the biggest songs in both of their catalogs. And Peep, while in death became a superstar, was nowhere as big as Juice WRLD, so it'll only make sense for X and Juice to come out with a bigger hit song that can make even more money. Wow, this song was not good at all. Like, it was literally the most blandest, out of sync song I've heard. Juice WRLD's verses didn't fit with the flow of the track. X's voice seemed to sound different from the original track, even though it's a remix, which I don't know how that happens. The mixing was all over the place from both X and Juice with their vocals. And to be honest with you, not me or a lot of fans were really asking for this song. I mean, this original song came out back in 2018, a couple months after X passed away. So you mean to tell me throughout these past 5 years when y'all been teasing this X and Juice collab that it'll be a 7-year-old already made track that's mixed and mastered better than what we got today? Like, for real, who the hell really wanted this? I feel like the fan base in 2025 ain't even as prominent like it was back in 2018 or 2019 or 2020 when they died. And if my memory serves me correct, the collab they was teasing was a completely different song. But I'm not about to be one of those fans that complain about, oh, we got the wrong song, we need another song for these two artists. No, this song was a completely failed collab, and I'm glad that happened. The label needs to stop releasing these fake collab songs and let these artists rest, cause unfortunately, as much as we do want to collab from Juice WRLD and X, it will never happen, and making a mashup song posthumously won't help it or make it sound any better. I don't even know how in 2025 that X's estate is still even dropping music when they literally have nothing left, and that was clear as day when his estate dropped his last album, Bad Vibes Forever, all the way back in 2019, with majority of the songs on that project being incomplete, while Grade A literally said that The Party Never Ends will be Juice WRLD's last album. And I feel like if y'all gonna make that his last album, him, then let his music be. Leave it alone and let his fans listen to the rest of his unreleased music on YouTube, SoundCloud, or any other streaming app, cause still milking these guys in 2025 ain't gonna hit the same like it did back in 2018 or 2019 or 2020. Years has passed by and their fans are growing up now.